Hello there. This is Coach Jay. I'm so excited that you are here. As promised, I wanted to do a video on how to find, locate, identify your purpose. And this video actually came as a request. I did a video yesterday on TikTok, which took off like wildfire. And it was basically finding your purpose. And it really wasn't about finding your purpose, but it was more so about your dream person is going to possibly be where your purpose is when you start walking in your purpose. And it went like wildfire. The girlies were like, okay, you talking to me? I know I'm supposed to be in my purpose. I know I'm supposed to be walking in my purpose. I know that everything that I desire is going to be when I start walking in my purpose. And you had a couple of polka dots in there about, okay, Jay, so how do I find my purpose? That's my issue. The video literally on TikTok, right now as I'm speaking, it's at 80.8K in views. Like it just took off. It literally took off like wildfire. But anyway, we're gonna get into it because I know that everybody's like, okay, girl, tell us the details. Before I start, I want to just make sure, preface by saying that, as a coach, as a business and leadership coach, I coach women not just on how to grow their businesses, but the psycho-emotional part that comes with business, that you have to put the work in no matter what. You have to put the focus in. You have to be able to coach yourself out of different things. And this is also what I'm trying to tell women is that women have to take responsibility, radical responsibility for their life. And a lot of us are used to people telling us what we need to do. Okay, we're so focused on, or we're not, it's not that we're focused on it, but we're used to people telling us what to think. It's an indoctrinated system, period. Okay, so that's period. Okay, but you want to get to a place where you are teaching, you already know how to think for yourself. And that's the thing. The patriarchy and capitalistic structure that we are in the modern West. A lot of y'all are not getting it either. You want things to be this way, and things have changed. Every woman wants to be the exception to the rule when the rule is literally the rule. So, what is purpose? Okay, purpose is the deeper sense of meaning and direction that drives a person's life. And if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes. It's the why behind what you do. Okay, it's the why behind what you do. Sometimes you're not going to know your purpose. You're not going to know your purpose. Everybody has different, definitions on what purpose is and what the meaning of life is, the purpose of life, the purpose of your existence. Everybody has a conversation about it. Everybody has some level of this is what it is. If you're in the church, you'll hear that your purpose is to serve God or serve Christ. If you are in just in a regular conversation with maybe a man, and the man says, well, I believe women's purpose is to, give birth to babies and be wives. Okay. You may be talking to someone else and they say, well, your purpose is to be an artist. Your purpose is to be a scientist. Your purpose is to heal people. Your purpose is to walk and help women with this. Everybody has an opinion about why you are here. But that is probably the $84 million question is, what is my purpose? Why am I here? Why am I working? Why am I doing this, that, and the third? Why do I have dreams about this? There's so many different thought processes and definitions as to what is a person's purpose, especially when it comes down to women. Women are very vulnerable people. Women have come a long way when it comes down to understanding our world, understanding like what is it about us that makes it seems like it's so difficult for us to get the things that we want? Because a lot of women want to be married. Not every woman, many do. Um, there is this whole phrase of decentering men. Okay. I think it's hard for a lot of women, especially if you're raised religious or in the church. Okay. You were told that you're destined to be somebody's wife. I mean, personal development, women's conferences, singles ministry, usually there is a women pack. I mean, if you look at the church, honey, the women that's coming, okay? They're coming because they want hope. But I have said this 1,000 times, and I know that this gets on people's nerves, but this is the truth. Times have changed. It is not what it used to be, and women don't want to hear that. And we are in a place where women really have to learn how to take care of themselves. There is a likelihood that many women who are ladies in waiting, even women who are married, like, don't get too comfortable, because there could be a day. I know a lot of women right now that are, and I've seen it, I've heard it with my own ears. A lot of them are leaving marriages, or a lot of the men are asking for divorces. That this is like happening, right? Because when women have choice, and this is the thing, they'll call it they'll say, well, we're blaming on feminism is this. And when I hear that from men, I think that's the biggest bowl of excuses I've ever heard in my life. While that may be true in so many ways, I will say this: I thank God for feminism, not extreme feminism, because we can't do everything that a man can. Okay, so I want to make sure I'm very clear on that. And the women who talk bad about feminism, I corner eye them. I'm going to tell you why. Feminism was a movement for some level of equity in a male centered dominant world. While men are obsessed with talking about with their grandmothers and the great grandmothers and why their marriages last so long back then, and it used to be a day when people used to be married for 40, 50, 60 years and they're not doing it anymore. That's because women did not have a choice. I mean, they had to stay married to survive. They couldn't open a bank account. They could not own land. They could not really start a business the way they wanted to. They had to have a husband to sign loans for them. They had to have a husband in order to open a bank account. They had to have a husband in order to purchase a property and things of that nature. And then even still, women still had to go and ask permission, or go and ask for their husband's approval to do X, Y, and Z. So now we don't have to do those things. Women can literally divorce. They can own property. They can own businesses. They can own checking accounts. They can have, savings and investments. And I think that's the thing that people don't realize, is that women have choices. And it has nothing to do with the conservative. Like, women can actually choose to be single if they want to. But this is also why when they say things like there's a war on masculinity, no, it's not. It's not. Okay. It's not a war on masculinity. It's a war on identity. It's a war on the feminine. It's a war on children. The feminine is the woman who has the ability to make decisions for herself. I told y'all, like, for those people who have been following me for a long time, I've been telling people that the more and more women step into their power and into their purpose, the more society will get nervous, because when women have a choice and we don't have to be with men that are not capable of leading a family, guess what happens? Birth rates do decline. As of right now, um, the rates for the United States I think it's like around 1.66, if I'm not mistaken. That's as of 2023, I believe. A lot of people do not understand that men are like losing their minds. They're glitching out of control. Like, why can't y'all, like, I don't understand. It used to be a time when women aspired to be mothers, like women aspired to be a wife. No, it was an aspiration. Many times they had to, like, be pushed and pressured. Okay. And this is why a lot of them were young, because, you know, that was the only opportunities to survive at that particular time. Now women can go and get degrees, but the consequences of women living out their life has now become an issue for men. And that is where a lot of men are having an issue. And women in their purpose, women who are moving in their purpose, they're probably going to have the best opportunities presented to them. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but I wanted to also preface, or not really preface, but insert this. Times have changed in the modern West. We are now considered the modern West. We're in the fourth industrial revolution. AI, robotics, all of these things, machine automations, all of these things are, and I don't know if y'all understand that. Okay. We are in what's called the Age of Aquarius. That's another thing that people are just not understanding. We are now in a different astrological age. That is happening right now. And if you get in the comments and you try to debate me about that, you can debate by yourself. I want you to understand a couple of things. When we are now in the changing of the guards, which means that we're seeing more women embrace the time of systems and automations and becoming tech savvy. We're seeing this, even women in STEM. There's so many amazing opportunities that are being presented to people, to humanity, in order to shift things around. More innovation is happening. I mean, we just saw Tesla. I mean, I'm not Tesla. SpaceX. Elon Musk literally have a spaceship. I'm sorry, what is it called? A rocket booster land back in the same place. That is unheard of. We just made history today, and people are arguing online. You know, they're arguing online. So, with purpose, though, with purpose, I want to make sure that I'm very clear. Your purpose is what is in you already. Okay. It's something that you actually like to do that brings you some joy, but it's scary because it may be tied to your vocation and it may be tied to the money you make. And a lot of women are very nervous about walking in their calling and in their purpose because they're scared that they're not going to get paid for it. But it is something that you have to develop. You have to develop into the person that can handle a purpose. So let's talk about that. Unlike goals, well, let me go back a little bit. Purpose connects your actions and decisions to a broader version of what feels meaningful to you. So, unlike goals, which are specific milestones or outcomes, right? Purpose is more of an ongoing internal compass. It's something that intuitively you can do very well. And it's about aligning your everyday life with what truly matters to you. And I know I want to also say this too, is that you're going to have people that's going to bring you back to, oh, you need to go back to the word of God and talk about your word. The word of God is not like not the word of God. I'm sorry. The Bible is not going to have your purpose. The Bible is a 2,000, 5,000 year old book. Okay. And it's not even a book. It's a collection of scrolls. Okay. So it's a collection of writings that came together and was decided upon and given to the Protestant church. Y'all need to learn your history on that too, since y'all want to, throw that out. When it comes down to the purpose, how do you find it, Jay? You need to, number one, you need to take notes. You need to embrace self-reflection and inner work. Okay. So a lot of y'all are not doing the work on yourself. You want so bad for somebody to come and tell you what you need to be doing in the vineyard, okay, in the field, and not doing the inner work of what it takes to be able to hear and see what you should be doing. Okay. Purpose begins with self awareness. Are you aware of yourself? Are you aware of your triggers? Are you aware of what excites you? Oftentimes, we're so focused on external validation. A lot of you are looking outside for approval. A lot of you are looking outside of yourself for someone else to give the okay that you're doing the right thing. You're not always going to have that. Your parents are not always going to be pleased with what you're doing. Your siblings, your family, everybody doesn't have to have approval on what you decide to do with your life. We're so focused on societal expectations. As women, we always want to make sure that we're doing the right thing per the society that we're in, especially Black and brown women. Black and brown women, we have that real bad. But I'm going to even go specifically when it talks about Black women. Y'all, we really have it bad because we're always told that something's wrong with us, right? We're always told that something is not right with us. And so we try to fix it, change it, invest in it. We try to do whatever it takes in order to change and improve. And women as a whole, we're addicted to personal development. We're addicted to internal investment. Okay. But I'm here to tell you that your purpose is something that really, really comes natural to you in so many ways. Now, what you need to do is that you need to start doing more meditation and journaling. You need to also ask the creator, your creator, the Father, Mother, God, whoever you call God. And you need to ask, what is my purpose? Sometimes I don't think y'all realize that just simply asking what is your purpose, and your purpose is going to be revealed to you intuitively. And then sometimes it's going to come by way of confirmation. Like people outside of yourself will come to confirm what you're supposed to be doing. So once you understand what or how to even ask, you just ask. A lot of women like, well, how do I ask? I'm like, you just ask like you're praying. Like, what is my purpose, God? Can you reveal that to me like ASAP? Like, what is my purpose in my life? What is my purpose like right now? Because sometimes it may not be your life's purpose, but in your purpose, or if you don't know it, you need to do everything with purpose. Sometimes the purpose is, quote unquote, it's not going to be revealed to you. Make sure my shirt. It's not going to be always revealed to you. So your core values, your interests, your strengths, all of that is really tied to your purpose. What are you passionate about? So if we're going to even use the example of Christ, right? Jesus, the Son of Man that walked on this planet in so many ways. Like Jesus was like, they said that his purpose was about spreading love and coming to die for the sins of mankind. And Jesus did that. But he also went through a lot of trial. He went through a lot of heartache, depression, anxiety about that purpose, because his purpose was great. It was huge, it was big, and it was multi-generational, right? So for you, it may come with a little bit of stress. May come with a little bit of anxiety, because your purpose is not going to be always in the pulpit. That's another thing. People think that your purpose is going to be in the church, and it's going to be speaking, and it's going to be, your purpose may be to be a nurse. Your purpose may be to start a clinic, or to start a midwife, wifery, space. It could be any of those things. But most times your purpose is going to be tied to the needs of this generation. Okay. And if you can't honor that, then you're going to have a struggle and a hard time. So let's keep going. When it comes down to, like, the second thing really is about clarifying your unique strengths. If you don't know what you're strong in, ask some of your peers, ask some of your friends, like, girl, what do you feel like I do that's really, really like masterful? Like, what is something that I can do really, really well? And they may say things like, girl, you're really good at tech, or you're really good at putting courses together, or you're really good at X, Y, and Z. You're really good at research. You're really good at this, that, and a third. Write those things down. That doesn't mean that those things are your purpose, but it may help you piece together some puzzle pieces, and put them together so that you can have a little bit more clarity. But this is something that you really, really have to work on. This is a project. Okay. This is a life project. So women often understand that their own strengths, and you underestimate your strengths. Let me say that. That's what I'm trying to say. You underestimate your own strengths, and you feel pressure to conform. Knowing that your unique strengths can help you step into opportunities aligned with your purpose. So when it comes down to, I want a husband, I want this, every person does not have to have the same reality. A lot of women came from me on that post that I made on TikTok about, like, your husband, your dream person is going to be where you are walking in your purpose and operating your purpose. Some of the girls came from me in the comments saying, well, Sometimes you can be struggling and your purpose, your dream person comes. Women like that really don't want a lot of women to live out their true selves and to be self-actualized. A lot of women would like for you to stay on the struggle bus. And a lot of women don't even want to become the best versions of themselves to attract the best versions. And this is consistently why women continue to have a hard time in relationships, because you lead with emotion. And when you don't have what you desire, when you don't have your stuff together, when you don't have your business together, when you don't have your work together, what happens is that you start to attract, or you start to walk in a spirit of desperation instead of a spirit of inspiration. And I've told you, women generally like to be inspired by their mates. Usually, you should not be lecturing men on what they should be doing with their life on a basic level. And when men say things like, "Oh, I just, it ain't no woman out here to be worth inspired for," because they're lazy. Women need to understand there is a huge population of men that are very lazy out here, okay? I just want you to know that. I've told y'all, men are not okay. A lot of men are not okay. A lot of men are still struggling with their identity. They're struggling with themselves. They struggle with the future. They don't know what they're doing. A lot of them can't read. A lot of them halfway understand implied context. They don't understand. They don't have any critical thinking skills. They will watch a video like this and completely come from a completely different angle than what I talked about, because they don't listen. And especially with women, they have this tendency to want to control and manipulate the conversation rather than listening to understand, but they would rather listen to respond. And that's a very dangerous road to go down, especially when it comes down to relationships, because some men really do think that they're leaders and they're not. Okay. Just because you know how to yell and just because you have physical strength does not mean you're a leader. It means you're a dictator and an abuser. Amen, somebody. Okay. Next thing, define your non-negotiables. So when it comes down to your non-negotiables with purpose, right? So purpose is rooted in values. Okay, what are your values? What are you not going to put up with, and what are you okay with? You need to write these things down when it comes down to purpose. Like if it's in business, what is the way that you want to run your business? What is very important with you to you regarding values? So, for example, for me, I'm a mother. I have a child that I have to take to school and all these other things. So, my values is that my business has to revolve around my work. All of my hours that I spend doing my work with my clients is during the time my daughter is at school. Most of the time is spent during the day, right? I may do a little bit here and a little bit there in the evening time, but most importantly, it's going to be during the time when my daughter's at school. And usually that's the best time. Okay. But what includes your values? I love to teach. I love to coach. That's a part of my non-negotiables. Okay. If it's to be an author, do you want to be an Amazon bestseller, or do you want to just sell books and be a self-published author? Like, what does that look like? If you want to be a nurse or a nurse practitioner, and you want to have a way that you're teaching other nurses to prepare for the NCLEX, do what you have to do. Like, that can be a part of your purpose. A lot of people think that it's just, do missionary work and all this. It sometimes, many times, it is what you do naturally, and that can make you a buttload of money. Period. In the story. Why am I saying these things? Because a lot of y'all want to be in relationships, but relationships take strategy. You can no longer navigate yourself in relationships with just emotion. Oh, this man is cute. Oh, he's so fine. Oh, he's tall. Oh, he's this. Look at his muscles. Many times men like that are jerks. Okay. You have to go after men, or you have to allow men to your experience that are very intelligent and understand the spiritual capacity and be able to understand and be pro feminine. I didn't say feminist, I say pro feminine. Okay. Pro you, pro growth, pro child. Okay. Not pro life, but then when the child gets here, he gone. He wants you to have a baby so bad, and then he gone. 39%, 32 to 39% of men and women are conservative in this country. And when I say conservative, I don't mean politically, I'm talking about socially. I have gotten so much backlash from this, but I'm going to tell you the truth. Most women who want marriage, they're socially conservative. Most women, if they are, women who are considered liberal, are women who just want women to keep, their rights as far as reproductive rights. Like, for example, I call myself socially, now listen to me, I'm a social conservative, but I'm also an independent. I don't identify myself as liberal in so many ways just because I think in a capitalistic system, in a capitalistic society, in a patriarchy, women do need some level of order because we're very emotional beings. Unfortunately, we're just very emotional, but that's how our makeup is. But if you took away patriarchy and you took away the capitalistic system, women would be fine. Women would be absolutely fine. It's the men that will probably malfunction. I hate to say it like that, but it's true. And but you need to seek out mentors. You need to write things down. You need to just flow in it. And it's going to come natural to you. Your purpose is going to literally come very natural to you. But you have to meditate every single day. You got to get your emotions in check. You got to learn how to sit still and finish things. You have to learn how to complete things. If it's, to create courses. Oh, but courses, da, da, da. Create courses, sell them, go live. It doesn't even take long. A lot of y'all don't realize that a lot of the content that you're making, even from that standpoint, a lot of the content that you're making is very like loose. It's loosey goosey. It's not consistent. You need to be able to become a master at something. You have to become a master at something. And then on top of that, if you decide to really go full throttle in your business or in your life, it can even be your career. Y'all are going to have to get opportunities where you can travel. Some of y'all think that your husband may be in the States and he could be somewhere. He could be an expat in Spain, but you won't know that because you're over here struggling and listening to women that tells you that you need to be struggling and broke and meet him at, Goodwill. And then y'all want to bring children into this world too. Are you kidding me? I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. Y'all have got to wake up. Your husband is probably not going to be going to the same high school that you went to. Girl, I met up with so and so, and we spoke. What is he doing with his life? Does he have money? Well, he try. Some of y'all love struggle buses. Y'all love feeling sorry for men. You want to be the exception that this man says, "Oh, I met her when she was down, and she met me when I was down, and I didn't have any money. I was poor, and then she just funded my entire business, and we've been together for 35 years." Are you kidding me? Mm-mm. I don't even want that for you. Times have changed. If you've heard stories like that, that's fine. Is the woman happy? Is she okay? Does she have high blood pressure? Is her edges falling out? All these kind of things you got to look at. A well watered and kept wife is going to be seen all through and through. A woman that is kept in a well watered life is a woman whose skin is clear. She looks healthy. She feels good. Some people call it, oh, this is just love weight, is stress weight. Girls, love weight is love weight, but it's really, like I said, it's stress weight. I put stress weight in it too early. It's really that, because it's women gotta learn how to cook with healthy? Is she keeping her household healthy? All these things you have to start thinking about when it comes down to purpose. A lot of men right now are just not okay. Millennial men, not okay. You're my dog. Purpose is deeply tied to service. A lot of people do not understand that. You have to be in the space of service. I guarantee you that when you step into your purpose, okay, I'm not saying that stepping into your purpose is going to be the way that you're going to meet the man of your life or the love of your life. I'm not saying that. But I am going to say this is that most women, when they start to exercise their choice and go outside of their comfort zone, like get outside of the state, travel, go to different spaces, go to different places, do great exploits, like talk to people, become well cultured, go out into the world and meet other cultures of people. You don't know where your husband is. Like I said, most times, if you want a provider husband, if you want a man that is doing well in life and that's really, really ready for the next step in his life, which is maybe a relationship or whatever, I need you to realize a couple of things. He's going to be working. He's going to be closing deals. He ain't going to be in women's faces and arguing about 50-50 and feminine and masculine, because those types of conversations belong in poverty spaces. A lot of people that are arguing, I'm talking about full out arguing, are men and women who literally are struggling to survive each and every single day. That's kind of sad. I'm not here to go back and forth with men. I'm not. I am here, however, to help women to understand different perspectives of thought and to give them choice on how to think about their own life instead of being pushed down and pressured to believe that something is always wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just that you need to get busy and focus on how to take care of yourself, learn how to use your mind, learn how to embrace psychology, understand spirituality, understand that you're going to have to come out of your comfort zone in order to meet someone of substance. I'm not saying that your husband is going to, go to the same high school, like I said, that you do, but there is opportunities outside of where you are. And like I said, a lot of men are struggling. You're going to have to realize that. Now, you probably ask me, Jay, are you what about your husband? A lot of women ask me that. They're like, well, what about your husband? How did you meet? I'm like, honey, who said I was married? That's something you're assuming. I can be pro marriage and not aspire to marriage. I have been married before. Okay. I've been married before. I'm pro marriage. I'm pro whatever women want. Okay. If women want marriage and they want children, you got to do it the right way. You don't want children to bring into this world and be upset with the man that you had the children with. I saw someone in the comment section that said in that video on my TikTok said, I know my purpose is to raise godly children. So I'm going to stay single until God. And I said, well, don't be a godly single mother having babies for a man that does not like you. I meant that because that doesn't make sense to me. You want to be a godly, have be a mom and raise godly children, and you ain't say nothing about, an order structure. Children do need a healthy masculine and a feminine in the home. They do. But we don't have that, at large, at scale. This is not the norm, unfortunately. Even if moms and dads were in the home, were the dads active, was the mother and the father in love with one another? Did they have structure? Did they have order? Did they have memories? Did they have values? Did they have wealth? Did they have things that they're passing down to their children? All of these things have to make sense for it to make sense. And a lot of times they don't be making no sense. A lot of times women will choose men based on emotion, based on them feeling sorry for him. And girl, he trying. Let's see what we can do. A piece of a man is better than no man. I'm trying to tell you. And then men are going to get upset saying, well, why is it that y'all are not feminine enough? No, you're just not masculine enough. Women are feminine, period. Women are responsive. A lot of men are in their feminine energy because they're waiting on us to respond. A lot of women have taken on, quote unquote, the masculine energy because they're trying to survive. And I think that is very, very interesting because women have to take care of themselves. A lot of women have custody of the children. You're seeing more women buy houses than ever before. They're getting tech jobs. They're in the tech industry. A lot of them are killing it in business. They're doing amazing in certain marketplaces, and men don't know what to do with that, and they're falling behind. So what is happening is that you're seeing more women wanting to be with someone, but they are feeling as if they got to take the lesser and lower their standards in order to have the ability to bring in, quote unquote, they want to have children. But some bloodlines are not worthy of going into the new age. Some bloodlines are just not worthy enough. Some bloodlines are not strong enough, and there are men that's going back and forth with me about that. But you have to do what it takes in order to walk out your purpose with absolute boldness. And you've got to stand on business. That's the only way you're going to make this lifetime work. We're in a different age. And I'm sorry. The world did not prepare women for what is coming, but I am here to do that. There's so many women that I've worked with and women that are coaches and mentors that are doing this honest work. If you want to, if you desire to keep following this channel, definitely look at some of the other videos I've done. Click the link on in this description box and get into the work. Learn how to be self-sufficient. Learn how to keep your head down. Learn how to pray. Learn how to meditate. Learn how to call things in. Things that are not as though they were. Call it out. Look your best every single day. Get your health in order. Get your skin in order. Write down your plan. Execute accordingly. Get you some friends that actually are doing something with their life instead of gossiping about baby daddies and all this other foolishness. Get around people that's always talking about poverty. Get around people, or stop being around people that are always telling you that you need to do this and you need to do that and you need to do this. And that's not in alignment to where you're going. Learn how to think for yourself. Learn how to trust yourself. Subscribe to this channel, comment below, let me know what you think, and definitely let me know if you have any other topics that you want me to delve into. I want to make sure that this particular channel is serving you and serving the future that you are creating right now. Sending you love. Bye, y'all.